Welcome to the Big Time Sports Show.
Big Time Sports Show.
The Big Time Sports Show, a look at sports in and around the Tuscarawas Valley.
Big Time Sports Show.
The Big Time Sports Show is brought to you exclusively by Ferris Chevrolet Buick Cadillac Toyota. For a great deal on a new or used car, truck, van, or SUV, see a Ferris wheel. Ferris on the Wabash in New Philadelphia.
Think Ferris.
Now, here are your Big Time Sports Guys.
Big Time Sports Guys.
Taking care of sports business is the mellow tones of Charlie Jones and the voice of the Akron Zips, Joe Dunn.
And good evening, high school football fans, and welcome to another edition of Big Time Sports. I'm the mellow tones of Charlie Jones, and tonight in the house, we are going to be talking orange and black football. I've got second-year coach John Cox of the Strasburg Tigers and a couple of his Tigers in the house tonight. We are going to be talking Strasburg football. You know how we do this? Let's get started. Friday night, baby, the Dover Tornadoes taking on Austintown Fitch. You can watch that game right here on the Big Time Sports TV network Friday night at 10:30 and again Saturday at noon. That's Dover, Austintown Fitch, Friday night at 10:30 and again Saturday at noon. For you Federal League fans, we're going to go up north. We are going to see an undefeated Jackson Polar Bear team take on the Lake Blue Streaks. Federal League football right here on Big Time Sports, Jackson and Lake. Watch it Saturday morning at 9 a.m. and again Sunday night at 8 p.m. Now, let's talk about our mobile phone app. Whenever I get a chance, I want to throw you out some information because I want to remind you that we, the Big Time Sports Guys, now have a mobile phone app. Check it out at BTS Ohio. That's BTS Ohio. It's my understanding, and I'm not very technical, as you already know out there. Right now, it's available on Android, and as soon as Apple and or Google gets off their fat rear ends, okay, we will be up on your iPhone. But right now, you can get it off of your Android at BTS Ohio. Live scores, baby, when the Tornadoes get in the end zone Friday night, boom, baby, 25,000 people are going to know it on our mobile phone app. You can watch our weekly TV shows on the phone app. You can watch any and all of our Big Time Sports game, no matter what sport it is. We have a pick'em contest. This past week, we had something like 45 entries in our pick'em contest, so don't forget that one. You can be a big winner. Also, check out the fan forum. It's all happening on the Big Time Sports mobile phone app at BTS Ohio. Like us on Facebook. Give us a tweet at BTS Ohio. Last week, when we had Eric Henry and the Claymont Mustangs in the house, the trivia question went like this. When Denison and Uricksville consolidated way back in 1965, who was the first head coach of the Claymont Mustang football team? The answer, I got to look. Oh, the answer, John Colazar. John Colazar is the name. I don't remember John, but I'm sure he was a good coach. 1965 is when they consolidated to make Claymont High School. The winner, some of you out there are going to know this name, John Albert. Johnny Alberts from Uricksville is the winner. Denison Yard, Dinner for Two, Lube, Oil, and Filter from Ferris Chevrolet, and a car wash from the Dirty Dog. We're going to step back for a couple minutes, take a look and see what Ferris Chevrolet has to offer, and when we come back, it's Strasburg Tiger football. We'll be back after you watch this.
Ferris Toyota is driving down the prices during our summer drive sale. Hi, this is Pat Ferris. Lease a new Toyota Corolla for just $139 a month. Camrys for $159, RAV4s for $169, and Priuses for $199. And every lease includes 24 months of no-cost maintenance. Toyota even has 0% financing on 12 different models to make it even better. Ferris Toyota on the Wabash in New Philadelphia.
When buying or selling a home, the first thing is to make the call.
Mackinger Realty.
Our marketing plan speaks for itself. We get results with over 700 sales last year.
So, Molly and Colin, have you made a decision yet? Yes, we have. I don't know, Molly. That's a lot of money. But it's the one I want.
Buying a home
Sign
is
the
one of the
contract.
biggest decisions you'll ever make. We take that seriously. One of every 4 homes sold is listed by Mackinger Realty. Make the call to Mackinger Realty, the sign that sells.
Welcome to All-Type Heating and Cooling, your one-stop shop for all types of home repairs. That's right, All-Type Heating and Cooling not only provides complete sales and service for your furnace and air conditioning, they also do plumbing. Family owned for over 30 years and with more than 100 years combined experience, you can trust us to keep you comfortable year-round. All-Type is your authorized Lennox dealer and can service or repair any make or model. All-Type Heating and Cooling, we treat you like family.
Welcome back to the Big Time Sports Show. As I told you in our opening segment, we are talking orange and black football tonight. We've got the Strasburg Tigers in the house, and with me this segment, second-year coach John Cox of the Strasburg Tigers. And Coach Cox, welcome to the Big Time Sports Show.
Thanks for having me, Charlie.
The Tigers, baby, huh?
Yeah.
You're in year 2. I imagine it's a little bit easier starting out year 2 as opposed to year 1.
No question. I mean, I came in June last year, and I didn't have much time with the boys before the season was there. This year, I looked at it. Everybody I've ever talked to, they always say it's not your team till the second year,
right?
Because you get them for the whole year. So we instilled the weight program in January and got to spend a whole year with the gang this year, which I think has made a big difference. Even though record-wise we're not at the same place we were last year at this point, I feel like we've made really big improvements strength-wise with the team through the weight program we've done in the off-season.
Every week when I do a show down here, I do a show up in Stark County, more and more coaches, have been talking to me about this thing called getting stronger and this thing called physicality, okay?
It's the game.
So you guys are real serious about this weight room thing. What have you done to ratchet up your weight room at Strasburg?
Well, we kind of do a lot of the core lifts, the squat, the deadlift, the bench,
I do the squat and the bench every morning.
And then we also do power cleans. But, anymore, I know there was a time when I played where lifting, back in the late 80s, lifting just wasn't a big deal. I think there was only 4 guys from my graduating class that really worked out a lot. I think nowadays to stay competitive, everybody else is doing it. You got to get in the weight room. And, we don't have a very big weight room, but we have everything we need to do what we do. And we'll do weightlifting, and then we also do what I call toughness stations to kind of blend into that physicality part of it. We do some things that, push the guys to the limit, and I just think it helps the guys as far as dealing with the game of football because it is a physical game, and it's a tough game. And I think that's what we've geared our weight training towards to try to help get the guys ready for the games.
Coach, and at small schools like Strasburg, like Central Catholic, like Malvern even, numbers are very, very important. How are the numbers at Strasburg, and how deep can you go since you are a very small school?
Well, we started the season out with 25 on the roster, and due to injuries and other types of things, we're down to about 18 guys right now.
Wow, you see?
And that's that's through the first 3 weeks of the season. Nobody for any real long extended period. We did lose one guy, one of our captains for the season, and that kind of hurts, Dylan Mullins. But numbers is an issue, and it really affects you as far as your weekly preparation for games, because you can't get a good look in practice.
No.
You're not getting a full line. Running half lines doesn't work for those guys that are supposed to be cutting those guys off on the backside. It's one of them things where we battle it the best we can. It means sometimes coaches line up and play positions, to give us a body to block, but that isn't game speed. So
sure.
I think it affects you in that end of it. And, with us playing in a league where we're the small guy in a bigger league with the Garraways and the
Sure.
Ridgewoods, teams like us in Malvern have to deal with getting a good look for your team to prepare for those games on Friday night. And it's tough. It's definitely not easy, but I had coached at a small school before and kind of knew from East Canton, I knew that this was what I was getting into. So we're going to try to improve the numbers year in and year out. We got a big 8th grade class coming in next year with a small senior class going out. So I'd really like to see our numbers get up to about 30 next year and be able to play a JV schedule on top of a varsity schedule.
Okay. All right, Coach, let's talk about this weekend. You've got the Newcomerstown Trojans.
Yeah.
Now, how about a scouting report on that game?
Well, you know, that's a team that offense, they got a new head coach there this year, but pretty much they're running a lot of the same stuff they ran last year. They run a wing T, you know, which is no secret to the IVC.
Right.
Everybody at one point in time was running it. They got a really good running back named Jabril Dansby. He last year we kind of held him in check, and we knocked them off last year and got a big win for us to put us at 3-1 last year. This season, I know they didn't graduate many guys, but he's probably their standout player. You know, we got to stop him on the ground if we want to win this football game, but we also got to move the ball, and that's something we didn't do well last week. You know, we didn't run well against Bel Air St. John, so we need to establish that running game against them. They just come off of a loss to United Local. United Local ran the ball at them pretty heavy. I think they only threw 1 or 2 times. So I think we're going to try to take a United's approach. They're a small school like us, but they just kept running the ball at them. They didn't, you know, a lot of times you kind of bail on the run too quick, and they didn't. They just kept going at them, and for a small school, they really took it to them. And you know, Dansby's a guy, if you can keep him to 100 yards, which for most guys is a great gain.
Right, that's a great
for
game
him,
most
you're
guys.
looking to keep him to 100, to keep him, because last year I know 2 games he had like 400 yards against East Canton when he ran against them, and I think he had 300 against United last year. So we know who we got to stop in this game to come out on top.
All right, Coach, they tell me I got to go to my next break, so let's do that. When we come back, Coach, we are going to bring up one of your Tigers. So let's do that now. Let's step back and take a look at what Ferris Chevrolet has to offer. And when we come back, we are going to talk more Strasburg football. We'll be back after you watch this from Paul Del Coma's favorite automotive dealer. It's Ferris Chevrolet, Buick Cadillac Toyota.
Ferris Toyota is driving down the prices during our summer drive sale. Hi, this is Pat Ferris. Lease a new Toyota Corolla for just $139 a month. Camrys for $159, RAV4s for $169, and Priuses for $199. And every lease includes 24 months of no-cost maintenance. Toyota even has 0% financing on 12 different models to make it even better. Ferris Toyota on the Wabash in New Philadelphia.
Let Designer Stone bring the beauty of natural stone into your home. Now granite from Designer Stone is affordable for your home. Granite is ideal for kitchen countertops, bathrooms, and floors, and is elegant and unique in color and patterns. Make granite from Designer Stone the choice to beautify your home. Call Designer Stone today at 1-866-860-4747.
There for you, care for you at the health plan. We are here for you. There for you, care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
Welcome back to the Big Time Sports Show. Last segment we had head coach John Cox at the table. This time we are going to invite in a senior from the Strasburg football team, and I'm just going to let Coach Cox, since Coach Cox knows this young man very well. Yes. Coach, I'm going to give you the microphone and let you give us a little bio on who we've got here.
No problem. Joe Del Coma, he's a senior guard and defensive end for us. He has 4 sacks already this year, and you know he's doing a great job containing the opposing teams as a defensive end. And then when we flip sides, he's our guard we like to pull with and trap with and kick out with. Joe really has improved a lot from last season. I know last year was his first year on the line, and this year he's kind of leading the way with us up there up front. You know, he's a two-way starter. He rarely leaves the field. You know, that's numbers problems at schools our size. the guys know that we condition him to play the whole game, and we mean the whole game. So he's a tough, hard-nosed kid. He's doing a great job this year. You know, he's one of them guys that leads by example for us, and, you know, I'm real happy to have him on our team this year. He's really performing well for us this season.
Well, Coach, you know, I know this is only your second year, but you see, I happen to know Joe's grandma and grandpa,
That's what you
and
said.
I know Joe comes from a good family and is cut from a good cloth, so those accolades that you just showered Joe with are there to stay, right?
Right.
All right, now you tell grandma and grandpa I said hello.
I will.
All right, let's talk Tiger foot. 4 sacks.
Yep.
You're pretty active at that defensive end spot.
I try to.
Now, what's your favorite? Would you rather play offense or would you
I
rather
like
play
defense. Yeah, I like hitting people.
All right, so that's why you like playing defensive end, because you like hitting people, right? What did Joe Delcoma do over the summer? Because we just talked about, you know, more in the weight room. We talked about physicality. Instead of you getting slapped around in the middle of the fourth quarter, you know, because you're getting weaker and weaker, how'd you make yourself tougher to prevent that?
Well, when Coach Cox started the lifting in the off season, which started in like January, I kind of slacked off a little bit with baseball. But come summer, I really tried to go as often as I could and get good lifts in, get in condition to play football.
Let's go to game day, okay? Take me through Joe Delcoma's game day. You get up in the morning, you take your Batman feety jammies off. You have a big bowl of Cocoa Krispies. Okay, now take me from there, buddy.
I just go to school and just think about the game, what I'm going to do. Hard to concentrate on school on Fridays.
It is, isn't it? That's what I wanted to hear, because I remember back in the day, it was hard for me to concentrate. Well, it didn't even have to be game day. It was just hard for me, period, to concentrate in school. But anyway, okay, so keep going.
Just seeing everybody in jerseys just gets you excited to play, and then drive down to the locker room. Everybody's talking about the game.
Yeah, any type of music you like to hear on game day?
They usually play rap in the locker room.
Okay, all right. What about your socks? You wear the same pair of socks every game day because you're superstitious?
Oh, we all have the same game socks, all black.
Okay, all right. Now, Newcomers Town coming up Friday night. I realize, of course, you've only had one practice or meeting to prepare for Newcomers Town, okay? But what do you think Joe Delcoma has got to do so the Tigers come home with that big W?
We got to keep Jabril contained. We can't let him get big rushes. We got to keep him contained. Can't let him have a big night.
What does that mean for a defensive end like Joe Delcoma? If this kid is going to take off, you don't want him boogieing down the sideline, right?
No.
You can't let him get outside, can you?
Nope.
How do you prevent that?
Just got to keep him inside. If he gets outside, got to drive him to the sidelines so he doesn't get 10, 15, 20 yards on you.
Okay. Your senior year, okay? What's the difference this year as opposed to last year's team?
I just think this year's team is more, it's like a bigger family. I feel like we're more tightly knit than last year's team. And I feel like we bought into the system more this year than we did last year.
Okay, now, so last year, you and DeBacco and the boys, you know, you get the word, you know, you hear, all of a sudden you hear, guess what? Coach Hurst is retiring. We got a new guy coming in by the name of Cox. What was your knee-jerk reaction? I imagine the first thing you did was called your grandpa to check out Coach Cox, right?
Right.
Huh? So coming in to a new coach is a little bit...
I'm excited.
Okay.
See a new coach, see what he's going to bring in the system. I'm happy with what Coach Cox is doing.
All right, okay. Well, all right, now, final question, then we got to go to our next break. Senior, what are you going to do with your life? Where's old Mellowtoes going to see you 5 or 10 years down the road?
I'm still trying to figure that out. I got some options.
Okay, you think you want to be a fireman? You want to be a CPA? You know, you want to be a football coach? Any idea at all about the career line?
No, not yet. Still trying to think of some things to do.
All right, you're allowed to do that because you're still young, and have fun while you're young. Okay,
That's
now
right.
good luck Friday night. Good luck the rest of the season, and most of all, good luck in life, okay?
Yep, thanks, Charlie.
All right, so there you have it. Our good friend, offensive guard and defensive end, Joe Delcoma of the Tigers. We'll be back to talk to two of Joe's teammates after you watch this from Ferris Chevrolet, Buick Cadillac, Toyota.
Ferris Toyota is driving down the prices during our summer drive sale. Hi, this is Pat Ferris. Lease a new Toyota Corolla for just $139 a month. Camrys for $159, RAV4s for $169, and Priuses for $199. And every lease includes 24 months of no-cost maintenance. Toyota even has 0% financing on 12 different models to make it even better. Ferris Toyota on the Wabash in New Philadelphia.
Melatones. Do you know why we were asked to see you today?
No, ladies, but when you call, old Mellotones comes running. What's happening?
You may be aware that we're very cute.
Oh, I'm aware.
Until recently, we were the sweethearts of the neighborhood.
Everyone just loves your little faces.
Everyone did love our little faces. Then they found Big Time Sports. If we set up a lemonade stand from about 3 to 6, our regulars will be listening to Big Time Sports radio show. And if the TV show is on, forget it. We're watching your interviews, listening to stats and recaps. You have prizes, we don't have prizes. We can't move this product under these conditions.
Girls, what can old Mellotones do?
Make us stop.
You know, I could use some fresh-faced, big-time sports spokespeople. How about you girls? Are you up for the challenge?
Have your people call our people. We'll talk.
Welcome back to the final lap on tonight's Big Time Sports Show. This segment, last but certainly not least, we are going to talk to two more Tiger football guys. And let's introduce now number 55. And this young man's name is Jacob Fondriest, and Jacob is a center and defensive tackle for the Tigers. And Jacob, welcome to Big Time Sports, my friend.
Thank you.
Now, Jacob, are you excited, my friend, about being here with old Mellotones?
Oh, extremely excited.
On a scale of 1 to 10, can you give me an idea?
About 12.
About a 12?
About 12.
Well, then you know what I'm going to do for you?
Okay.
If you, okay,
all right,
make me look good for the final 6 minutes of this show, I'm going to give you a XXX t-shirt for your girlfriend. Okay?
All right.
How's that?
If I had a girlfriend.
Oh, you don't have a good-looking young man like you don't have a girlfriend?
No.
Wow, because you know why, don't you? Because Coach Cox has got you over there at that football field all the time practicing football.
Exactly.
Right? All right, Jacob, let's talk a little bit of Tiger football here, okay?
All right.
Center or defensive tackle? If he said, hey, you're only going to play one way tonight, what do you want to do? You want to play center or you want to play defensive tackle, and why?
I would probably go with center because ever since I started Pee Wee football, I've been playing center. There's only 1 year. It was sophomore. It was last year I played guard, and that was the only year that I haven't played any other position other than center. So I mean, I love the position.
Which you want to pass block or you want to run block? Which is the most fun for Jacob Fondriest after you snap that ball? You know, you want to take a couple steps back and get knocked on your rear end, or you want to take on and block for somebody?
I like taking on the block for someone. I like the important role of trying my best to help someone move the ball from point A to point B as best I possibly can, and lead blocking for someone. That's usually what I'd like to do.
Did you put some? You heard Coach Cox and I talk about strength, working a little bit extra in that weight room.
Mm-hmm.
Was that you this summer? And you're allowed to give me an honest answer, even though Coach Cox is sitting out there.
Actually, I think I only missed 2 days, and that was when I went on vacation from January all the way to when we started 2 days. I only missed like 2 days, and I tried to bust my butt as hard as I possibly could in the weight room because I figured, all right, well, I have a good chance of playing, getting a starting role, and this year I had to make sure that I was going to have a good year this year. Because last year I didn't feel like I had a good year, and I feel like this year had to be a good year for me.
All right, buddy, that's the way to think. Okay, now, this year, the Strasburg Tigers, what do you think? What's the best thing going for you and your buddies on that Strasburg football team?
Well, right now I think the best thing that we have going is we have a really good brotherhood. I mean, this is the closest team that I've ever been a part of, and this is my junior year. At this team, we're doing everything together. We're as close as possible. I mean, I've never had that in a team before, and I really enjoy it this year.
All right, buddy. Hey, good luck Friday night.
Thank you.
Good luck the rest of the season, and good luck down the road, okay?
Thank you.
Let's talk now, Jacob, to your teammate. This is a sophomore Jay DeBacco, and Jay is a tight end and outside linebacker. And Jay, welcome aboard, my friend.
Thanks for having me.
Make sure you tell Mom and Dad old Mellow Tone said hello.
All right.
All right, now let's talk about Tiger football. You're only a sophomore.
Yes.
Okay. I know you're coming off an injury. Okay.
Yes.
How is that injury coming? You're back 100% healthy now.
Yeah, 100%. Not really as fast as I used to be, but getting there, slow and steady, but getting there.
Okay. All right. Now, who's your favorite NFL player, and why?
Favorite NFL player? It's gonna have to be Troy Polamalu for the Steelers.
Because you like his hair?
No. Just really like the way how he flies around the field, just making all kinds of plays, just hustling everywhere.
But tell me now, Jay, you and I are buddies, but if you answer this wrong, we might not be. You're not a Steeler fan, are you? Uh-oh, we got a Steeler fan in the house. You people light up the switchboard because DeBacco is a Steelers guy. Okay, now, all right, Newcomers Town.
Yes.
What do you got to do to help your teammates win that game Friday night in Newcomers Town?
I got to, as an outside linebacker, just fill all the holes, get off blocks, and just try to stuff Jabril at the line of scrimmage and not let him get into our secondary where it can really do some damage in the open field.
All right, now, they're telling me I only got 1 minute, and then the show's over in 1 minute. Wow, guess what, guys? I got to be done with you, and Jacob, I got to be done with you, buddy. Time flies when we're having fun, doesn't it?
Sure does.
Guys, good luck Friday night, and good luck the rest of the way, okay?
Thank you.
All right, so there you have it. Jay DeBacco and Jacob Fondriest in the house. We'd like to thank my good friends from Crystal Springs for taking care of old Mellow Tones tonight. I haven't got time to do my name game, but that's the way it goes sometimes in Studio A. Guys, you're going to help me say goodnight, aren't you? Keep your socks high.
Your powder dry.
And Jacob,
bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.
This has been the Big Time Sports Show.
Big Time Sports Show.
With your Big Time Sports guys, the mellow tones of Charlie Jones and the voice of the Akron Zips, Joe Dunn. The Big Time Sports Show has been brought to you exclusively by Ferris Chevrolet Buick Cadillac Toyota on Wabash Avenue in New Philadelphia.
Think Ferris.
Tune in every week and see the guys take care of sports biz.
Big Time Sports Show.
Welcome to All-Type Heating and Cooling, your one-stop shop for all types of home repairs. That's right, All-Type Heating and Cooling not only provides complete sales and service for your furnace and air conditioning, they also do plumbing. Family owned for over 30 years and with more than 100 years combined experience, you can trust us to keep you comfortable year-round. All-Type is your authorized Lennox dealer and can service or repair any make or model. All-Type Heating and Cooling, we treat you like family.
Big Time Sports! Big Time Sports! Big Time Sports!
When there's a big game in town, tune to Big Time Sports. Mellow Tones Charlie Jones, Joe Dunn, and Troy Richardson are on hand to bring you the best high school action. No matter where the action takes us, Big Time Sports covers it all on both the boys and girls side, and no one travels down the tournament trail like Big Time Sports. So when you're looking for the big game, look for Big Time Sports.
Here's a heads up, area sports fans. Big Time Sports just got bigger. Be sure to join Joe Dunn and the Big Time Sports guys every weekday from 3 to 6 p.m. on 1350 a.m. for the Big Time Sports radio show. For the best sports talk in high school, college, and even the pros can be found on the Big Time Sports radio show. That's why they call us Big Time Sports. First television, now radio. It doesn't get any bigger. Keep your socks high and your powder dry. Bye-bye.
A new Toyota is the best way to put some fun in your summer. And right now, Ferris Toyota has the best deals of the summer. Hi, this is Dan Hosteller. You can lease a new Corolla for just $109 a month or buy for just $19,699. You can lease a 2014 and a half Camry for just $169 a month or buy it for just $24,935. Ferris Toyota has the best deals of the summer on the Wabash in New Philadelphia.
Jessica, we need to leave right now.
I need to get something.
There's a meaning no one knows. Wait until we set free.
So what's the empty suitcase for?
The grand prize trophy. confidence. Pass it on.
I was born to be somebody.
Not a good.
No,
That's not a good.
Is that your understanding of?
Is that right, Steve?
Yes, but the other part, Charlie, you said that kids, too many opportunities, kids can't be kids, so on and so forth. And I think that the regulations on the book right now, or prior to the passage of this recent regulation and everything, were built on two, at least one archaic idea, and that is that kids need time off in the summer to do the things that kids should be doing outside of their sports. And the reality is they're not doing that.
No, I know that.
They're transitioning. Middle school basketball season ended for my son's school, and the kids are already playing week one of their AU or whatever basketball. They're going right into that transition. So kids are doing what they want to do. I mean, a lot of them, maybe they feel pressure that they need to do those things in order to make next year's team or whatever, but they're going to do that anyway, number one. And number two is, and Dr. Ross touched on it, there's a strong belief, certainly in the commissioner's office and it's with me as well, that what the product of the high school sport team is a product of educationally based athletics, and that our coaches, our high school coaches, embrace that philosophy and can help put that philosophy into practice, so that if we believe that these people embrace those ideals and can pass those on to the kids, why are we keeping them away from the kids?
Let me throw this out, guys, and of course, then you can both take your shots at me. There is this chatter on the streets that high school coaches, as well as high school administrators, from the AD's office on up to the super, are concerned about AAU coaches.
Are or are not?
Are concerned, are concerned about AAU coaches and AAU programs getting too much time with their prospective high school athletics and may not be, leading them down the right pathway. Now, how much of the statement I just made, Steve, is there any fiber to that, and how much concern is that as a result of the new coaching opportunities?
Well, and I would tell you from my perspective, that's exactly why I applaud this action taken by our board, so that we eliminate or limit the opportunities for the AAU, and I keep, I don't mean to impugn AAU or anything like that, but that the high school coaches can bring them back into the fold, and again, bring them back into the educational-based athletics as opposed to the goals of an AAU team. And they are, if you ever sat them down and said, well, what are the objectives of AAU program versus the objectives of a high school program, and list those objectives, you're going to come up with two different set of objectives from those programs. The other piece is, and again, this is me being selfish, because through the fall and winter sports season, we probably litigated, 12, 13, transfer cases. And I've said to Dr. Ross on almost every one of those occasions, we're doing it to ourselves. Because of these rules, we're forcing kids to go over and play on this team, that team with that AAU guy or whomever.
Right, absolutely.
And so the recruiting, if you will, is taken subtle, but nonetheless, the influence to go play for this team over here and cause that transfer is being done in no small part because of some of these very rules that we're talking about.
Okay. And
I hear that all the time. And I hear from many administrators probably a dichotomy of issues. One is kids need more time, that piece, but they really believe that that's almost nostalgia anymore. They really wish it was kind of back where it used to be, but they know that horse has left the barn and they're not going to get it back. And the other thing is that we've spent an awful lot of time recruiting coaches for these positions. We went out and tried to find, and it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time to find the kind of person that you think is going to be a great fit for your program, a great fit for the philosophy of your program, that they're here about kids, they're here about the growth of kids. If they win, it's icing on the cake, but it isn't the focus of that. And they really feel that why at the end of the season are we turning our youngsters over to someone that may not have that philosophy, telling this person that we spent a lot of time developing and bringing along, that now you're not allowed to talk to that youngster, you're not allowed to provide individual instruction to help that youngster become better at that. why are we doing that, and why are we turning them over to somewhere that now mom and dad got to go out and pay X amount of dollars to the shot doctor or the hitting guru or whatever, when the best person may be sitting right in front of them.
All right, I got to go to a break, guys, and we have got the OHSAA in the studio again this week. We'll be back after you watch this from Ferris Chevrolet, Buick Cadillac, Toyota.
The Big Time Sports Show with Charlie and Joe will be back right after this word from Ferris Chevrolet, Buick Cadillac, Toyota.
Put yourself in a brand new Chevy Spark for less than $13,000, or save $13,000 and lots of gas on the new Chevy Volt. Hi, this is Dan Hosteller from Ferris Chevrolet Buick Cadillac. The Chevy Spark is a great car for less than $13,000. Ferris also has hot selling crews discounted up to $2,000. Come see the all-new Ferris Chevrolet Buick Cadillac, where the service department is now open till 8 every Monday on the Wabash in New Philadelphia.
An apple a day. Brought to you by the Health Plan.
Don't be so quick to suppress a cough when it comes to your child. Coughing is an important defensive reflex that protects the lungs from pneumonia. The American Academy of Pediatrics does not recommend the use of over-the-counter cough medicines. Moisturize the air to loosen the mucus so they can cough it up.
It's all a part of caring for yourself and your family. And that's what the Health Plan is all about.
It's the Big Time Sports online store. Log on to BigTimeSportsOhio.com, then click Online Store. Buy hats, coolers, blankets, sweaters, and more. Just log on to BigTimeSportsOhio.com and click Online Store. We're taking care of business at Big Time Sports.
And we are back at Big Time Sports, and off camera, we were chatting about different items going around, and we're having a good time here. But now that we are back, guys, I want to throw it to you. We need a closing statement on what we were talking about, the off-season coaching opportunities, because then I, of course, you're high profile, okay? Highly talented, much sought after TV talk show host, okay, wants to get into a very hot topic, okay, which a lot of people are going to be interested in out there. Steve Craig, closing arguments, I'm sure you've heard that before, on off-season coaching.
Well, again, Charlie, I share your sentiment about that, and like we were saying, it's grounded in the nostalgic idea that kids need time in the summer to be kids, go to the pool, vacations and everything like that. The reality is most family vacations are scheduled around
those activities
and what have you. So while we may yearn for the days of old, get with the times, and I think the move by the board to allow the individual instruction by our high school coaches is a good move.
Okay. All right, thanks, Steve. And Dr. Dan, I'm going to let you give us one closing statement.
Hopefully our comments will help to sway you.
Sway me, okay.
That high-profile.
Yes, all that good stuff, yeah.
All that.
Yeah.
I hope it sways you a little bit with that piece. But I think, honestly, in all of our hearts, all three of us feel the exact same way.
We do.
But I think that nostalgia is something that it's not going to be like it was 15, 20 years ago or even 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That I think giving our coaches that opportunity was a good decision, because I believe that we have so many wonderful coaches in this state that love and care about kids and want to do the right thing with them. Mm-hmm. Let's see how it works. If it doesn't, I would be the first person to stand in front of you and say, we certainly tried. We gave that an opportunity for youngsters. It did not work, and we're going to go do this, because we need to deal with this issue. And this issue is come up, and it's been on the radar screen for 3 or 4 years very, very strongly by our coaches and our administrators and our ADs, and let's see how it goes.
All right, guys, let's now move on to another topic, which which is out there. There's been a lot of chatter on the street, a lot of chatter at the barbershop, and Steve, you wouldn't know what I was talking about when I mentioned barbershops, but there's been a lot of chatter out there about this. Dan, earlier during his closing arguments, Steve Craig used the word nostalgia twice, and every time he said it, I thought he was referring to his hairstyle. Okay. Anyway, here we go. How about the 7th division in high school football? It's out there. Everybody's talking about it. And Steve, since I'm picking on you, I'll let you be the leadoff hitter on this. What about a 7th division in football beginning as early as this next school year?
Well, it will be the 2013 football playoffs. There'll be a 7th division. And again, you take a step back and look at the mission of the OHSA and the Commissioner's Office, and one of the goals is to create as level a playing field for all the competitors as possible. So each of the tournaments are set up by divisions, and the divisions are established right now based on enrollment of the schools, so on and so forth. So they're grounded in this idea that school size matters. When you get to football and you look at the smallest, in years past, the smallest Division I school versus the largest Division I school, the gap between those two was greater than the gap between the largest Division II school and the smallest Division VI school.
Jeez, wow.
So you could have driven all the other, you could have driven the other 5 divisions right on through that. So again, if you believe that school size matters, and I think in the sport of football it probably matters more than most other of the sports, right? That this move dividing, lower or shrinking that gap between the smallest and the biggest in Division One and now Division II helps create that level playing field for the sport of football.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Steve. Dr. Ross, what does the landscape look like now? Now that you're going to start this fall, this next school year, 2013, what does the landscape look like? I mean, is it going to be a whole lot different, or is it something that had to be done that fits just right?
I think it's going to fit pretty neatly into the system we have. We'll have 32 more tournament teams.
Okay.
Because you'll have that next group down, of which, to piggyback on Steve's comment, there's going to be a whole lot of those schools that felt like they never, ever had an opportunity. Because they always had to go up and face the schools that were dressing more kids than they had in their school.
Sure.
And so it was one of those where they'll have a much greater opportunity to participate. But I think the format's going to look very similar. The 7th, one of those, the extra game's going to be on Thursday evening. For this coming year, we're going to try Thursday evening and see how it looks. We had a lot of input from a lot of people, and basically it came down to, rather than doing 3 on Friday and 4 on Saturday, or 3, and then 1 on Sunday, of using Thursday night versus Sunday afternoon. We only have one tournament that we schedule on Sunday, and that's hockey, because we don't own a hockey facility, and for the most part, most years our ice hockey ends up being on Sunday, but we're going to try that for the 2013 campaign, and we're going to see how that works.
All right, we are big time. Wait a minute.
One other change, the Harbin ratings, and we're working on the Harbin ratings.
All right, we will talk about your ratings, okay, when we come back. I want you to remember, Dr. Ross, this is big time sports. This is not 4080 Rose Lee. We'll be back with my good friends from the Ohio High School Athletic Association after you watch this.
The Big Time Sports Show with Charlie and Joe will be back right after this word from Ferris Chevrolet Buick Cadillac Toyota.
Put yourself in a brand new Chevy Spark for less than $13,000, or save $13,000 and lots of gas on the new Chevy Volt. Hi, this is Dan Hosteller from Ferris Chevrolet Buick Cadillac. The Chevy Spark is a great car for less than $13,000. Ferris also has hot selling crews discounted up to $2,000. Come see the all-new Ferris Chevrolet Buick Cadillac, where the service department is now open till 8 every Monday on the Wabash in New Philadelphia.
You love him as Melatones, but I love him as my grandpa.
Me too. He's my Uncle Charlie. It doesn't matter how you know him. We all love big time sports. Everybody loves big time sports.
Big Time Sports interviews players and coaches. Play along at home and win prizes and get the inside scoop on your favorite local teams.
Keep your socks high, your powder dry, and bye-bye.
Go to the best high school sports website in the game. Find it at BigTimeSportsOhio.com. Check out our television schedules and watch your favorite team. Look at our photo page and show schedules. You can even shop in our Big Time store. Click on Sports Talk for our weekly blog on what's hot in high school sports. And we want your opinion, so hit the reply button and let us have it. Check it out now, BigTimeSportsOhio.com.
And welcome back to Big Time Sports. Let's talk more now regarding the Ohio High School Athletic Association, the activities, and all the happenings at 4080 Rosalie that I keep referring to. Dr. Dan Ross and Steve Craig on board with me today again. And Dr. Ross, before we went to that last break, okay, when you stepped on my toes again, before we went to that last break, okay, you were talking about this thing called ratings, okay? Fill us in on these computer ratings.
I was just trying to slow that train down a little bit that was coming at me, just to let you know that one of the pieces that needs to be put in place for that is the computer ratings, the Harbin ratings, of adding the new division. And it's something a lot of times no one ever thinks about. But when you add a division, now you're going to have another integral part that has to be included in that, because if you place somebody in that next division, and Bo Rugg in our office and Angie Lowe in our office, who are working on the computer ratings now, are in the process of looking at, do you add points for the Division I, make that higher, or do you take the Division 7 now and make that lower? And so they're looking at both options of that piece, but it's one of those pieces that needs to be worked through before the spring.
How much of a strain, Dan, does it put on your pulling off high school football playoffs, okay, is a monumental task. How much more strain, if that's the correct word, does it put on your staff by adding 32 more teams for that high school playoff series?
I think the system, when you asked earlier about how this fits, I think it fits very, very well within the system, because we know how to do that. Okay. And we have great people working to make that. We'll need more people in order to be able to do that, especially when you think about, okay, you got 32 more teams, that's 16 more games that first weekend.
Okay, all right.
And so making that piece work, and I think once you go through it the first time, it's like the team wrestling that we just finished. Once you go through that system the first time, you look and say, okay, we forgot about this, or we need to do this. With this system, because we do this a lot, there'll probably be less of that than coming through like the team wrestling, because it's the first time we've done the team wrestling, and so the debriefing on that would be a little bit more intense.
Okay. All right. Steve Craig, if you would, please, you're a Stark County guy. Stark County, of course, is right off the top of my head, filled with larger, okay, with bigger division schools, 7th division in high school football. Locally in the Stark County area, who might it impact? Can we think of any schools locally? I can't, and I know that's why I'm throwing it out to you, because you're a Stark County guy.
And Charlie, in all seriousness, I didn't pay any attention to the numbers, or who's drawing. As I hear talk on the street, you make reference to that often.
Right.
I had heard that it would affect maybe Massillon, Washington, but other than that, most of the Division I football playing schools in Stark County are big schools. So I don't know. Okay. As I sit here, I don't even. I couldn't tell you what division Timken was last year, if they would be affected by that. But
okay.
Well, that question probably ends up being that Division I is going to be the top 72. You could have some that may be on that lower end of that 72. That when the new classification series comes out, because we'll start our new classifications next year. Our EMIS numbers will be in the spring. That you may have some from the Division II that are growing that would move up into that area and push maybe some down into the Division II, or some that are in the top end of Division II that could be in Division I.
Yeah, that's a good point. The reclassification is the commissioner's office